Welcome everybody to Buffy Central. Sorry, it has been a while since I uploaded, guys. I kind of got to go out of the break recording, especially with the quality of that boom stuff. And we think that's thing. However, I am back to take a look at issue 4 of Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer. I kind of forgot this was coming out, which if I remembered, I probably would have had this recorded sooner. So far, this series has been okay. It was probably the best thing that I was reading from the Boom Buffy universe, which is still not amazing. And I apologize for the flickering. I'm trying out a green screen, trying out something different. It doesn't seem to like either the picture that I'm using as my background or something. But anyway, we are here to talk about issue 4. This kind of picks up where the last one left off. You know, we brought back Spike because of course we have. The Boom universe seems to really love him. I don't know if it's they think that that will bring people in, or if whoever's writing this book is just a big fan of Spike. Unfortunately, if you're a fan of Angel like I am, there's no reference whatsoever to him in this book. That is not necessarily an issue if the story is still good. However, personally, I was a little annoyed because they seem to want to underplay how big of an influence he is on Buffy's life and how big of an influence she is in his life. They, in a way, make each other better people. But in this, it seems like their relationship was ended in a disaster because we don't want to deal with Buffy and his relationship. Whatever, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It's fine. The artwork maintains still manages to be pretty good. That's not something I can say about all of these Boom Buffy books. The main book after the first trade after both Buffy and Angel, from what I remember, went to shit pretty quickly, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I really like this opening. It's a fun action sequence of Buffy being outgunned, outmanned, and basically, doing the best she can. She's still kicking ass, but it is kind of sad in a way to see her kind of beaten down. And that's a running thing throughout this entire book. You know, um, he's getting older, he's losing a little bit of the powers, which we'll come back to towards the end. The other thing that was interesting with this book is it's a very fast read. And I don't know if they were rushing to get it wrapped up because they had 4 issues. Part of me feels like this should have been a little bit longer, maybe a 6 issue mini or a 12 issue mini. I don't know if there's enough story here, or if they had enough story to tell to do a 12 issue mini. But I think it needed to be longer than 4 issues, and a lot of that comes to a head here. They pretty much instant win after a witch unlocks Willow's daughter's powers. Her name is like Thessala or Bessie, something like that. And she turns Buffy into an living embodiment of the sun, and she kills all the vampires. Kind of a deus ex machina, but it's kind of been. It also kind of fits with the story where they're fighting vampires who have blotted out the sun. We turn the Slayer into the sun. It's whatever. It didn't really bother me, other than maybe it was a little too easy. And obviously that that takes a lot out of Buffy. But I'm going to rewind here just a little bit and mention Anya, because Anya shows up in this. She has been the only other character from the original show, besides Buffy and Spike, that has had a recurring story or appearances in the main timeline, not counting flashbacks or anything. And she shows up here, and this is probably my favorite appearance from her. Because every other appearance, she just was like holding a punching bag for Buffy, reminding her that she's old. Here, she gets to fight a little bit, which is cool because you don't see her fight very often. I may be forgetting something, but the only time I can remember her fighting it really is in the season 7 finale. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on that. And we get a little bit of the capitalist Anya with her, trying to make figure out how she can make money out of vampire dust. And I thought that was fun. That was a nice little reference to what that character was, and how it was funny. Then we get to what is, I think, the best part of this issue, and arguably probably the best part of the whole comic. Buffy is very weakened by being made into like a personification of the sun, and Joyce shows up. I think this is the first mention of Joyce in this book, which is interesting. Not totally unexpected with an older Buffy. I don't know how Joyce died in this continuity. Did the gift or the body still happen? I don't know. They're not very clear. I haven't read any interviews. If you guys have any information like from an outside source, feel free to let me know in the comments below. In my opinion, that stuff shouldn't count because it's not in the book, but I would be interested to know the author's mindset. And then Giles shows up, and Willow. And I said this is my favorite part of the book. It's also the most weird part. It's also the weirdest part because I'm not really sure what's happening. This is the part that just seems to kind of make up its own rules. A personification of the Slayer shows up, and it's a younger Buffy. At least I think that's what it's supposed to be. And they tell her, it's not really your time, but your power is basically gone. You can give it up, and you can go back to your normal life, or if you want, you can move on with us. And it was nice to see her have a conversation with Joyce. Although I wish she'd been able to have more of a conversation with Giles as well and Willow. Like, they bring those two in, and I don't think either one of them has any dialogue with Buffy. Although it was nice to see Willow get to converse with her daughter. Although something that did make me laugh is when Willow is talking to her daughter asks, why isn't Tara here? Why isn't my mom here? Willow just doesn't answer. And it felt like the creator or the writer of this book just didn't know. Like, I don't know why Tara's not here, but she's not, so we'll just deal with it. I also don't understand how a Slayer's power can just run out, because my understanding is you're a Slayer until the day you die. Obviously, I don't mind changing the rules, but you don't. It's the same thing with every other issue. Is you're not explaining the rule changes. You're just throwing them at me with no explanation. At least none that I could make sense of. So Buffy, she gives up her Slayer power and decides to stay because Thessala, or Thess, Willow's daughter, needs her. So Buffy ends up as a human, training Willow's daughter, and kind of walks off under the sunset with Spike. It's a good ending, but I'm kind of over Spike and Buffy's relationship. I've never been a big fan of it. But I do like that this Buffy gets a kind of a happy ending, because there was a part of me that thought, maybe they'll kill her off. Again, if anybody's watched Buffy, they know she dies like 3 times in that show. Twice. Sorry. So I'm glad that she didn't die, but I kind of wonder, what it would have been like to see Buffy finally just go out and blaze glory. And I almost wonder if they could have made that a more fitting movie. Overall, this story is okay. I still think it is the best thing that Boom has written that I've read. I am super behind on the main book, and there's a new Angel event coming out that I need to read. Our new Angel book coming out that I'm going to look at, which will probably be my next video. But yeah, this issue felt super rushed. But overall, if I was going to recommend anything from the Boom Universe reboot universe, this would be it. Thank you guys for watching. That is going to be it for me today. Not a whole lot else to say about this. So I do appreciate you watching. And if you do like this video, please consider hitting that thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.